Good evening, good evening. Thanks for joining. Invite somebody. We're just waiting for a few minutes for others to join, and we'll talk about the power of creativity. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Let's give it a few minutes and then we'll start. A few more minutes. Thanks for watching. We just want to give it a few minutes and then we'll start. And then we'll start our podcast just for a few minutes. I give it a few minutes. Ooh, I hear myself. A few minutes and we'll start. Just a minute or two. Invite somebody. Share the broadcast. We're gonna make it short and sweet. Talk about the power of creativity. Thanks for spending some of your evening with me. I hope your Saturday is going fine so far. Give it a few minutes. All right, let's get to it. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about the power of creativity. To begin, we're going to talk about what is creativity. And you can follow, obviously, you know my name, I'm Talvina. And you can follow along on the screen. I did some slides for you. Creativity is intelligence having fun. So say Albert Einstein. According to Sam Horn, creativity is simply connecting new dots in new ways. In short, creativity is not the absence of intelligence and thought. How do you become creative? Creativity involves breaking out of established patterns in order to look at things in a different way. Creativity is the ability to perceive the world in new ways. For example, Netflix imagined a new way of watching movies that put Blockbuster out of business. Amazon, the largest e-commerce marketplace in the world. Facebook, invented a new way of communication, the largest social media platform. George Fuhrman invented a new way of grilling. Telework, remote working, telemedicine as a result of COVID. Online school provided new educational opportunities and options, gave out options compared to the traditional way of learning or taking classes. Zoom, StreamYard, Restream, the application I'm using tonight, WebEx. Those are our options due to creativity. The chicken nugget is a creative way of eating chicken in small bites, and this was created by Robert Baker. These are just a few ways of living and imagining the world. Clarifying creativity. Let me move my slides. Let me see. Okay, clarifying creativity. If you have ideas but don't act on them, you are imaginative but not creative. The daydreamer is imaginative but not creative because he or she doesn't act on implementing dreams. So act on your dreams. Why creativity? Sam Palmisano said, if you do what everybody else does, you have a low margin business. Creativity gives businesses a competitive advantage. Now let's talk about some creative people in history. Martin Luther King, obviously we're celebrating him on Monday. on Monday. His work, his legacy he was a pastor, activist, a humanitarian, one of the prominent leaders in civil rights movement. He lived in a world that was not integrated. However, through civil rights and nonviolence methodologies, he created ways to integrate the world that he lived in. Jeff Bezos, the brain behind Amazon. I know we all shop on Amazon. Obviously, we know it's the largest marketplace or e-commerce site. Thomas Edison, the inventor of light bulb, and one of his quotes, just my favorite, and I cannot talk about him without saying that quote. And that quote is, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that wouldn't work." Steve Jobs, we all know, he introduced iPhone, iPad. You- Um, he also the creator of Pixar. For a few people that use iPhone, or I mean, I'm sure most people have seen iPhone or iPad. And one of his quotes that I like too is, "Creativity is just connecting things." Marie Curie, the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the first person and the only woman to win a Nobel Prize twice in two different fields. She paved the way for women in science. Mark Zuckerberg. Well, of course, we're using his platform tonight to live stream. The founder of the largest networking site, Facebook. I'm streaming through his platform. Obviously, that's why I have here you watch me from. Walt Disney. He came up with creative getaways for families. Martha Stewart, an entrepreneur, a writer, a television personality. Claude Monet, a painter, the greatest name in art history. His style and approach influenced generations of artists. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest and most influential physicists of all time. So to recap, we discussed what is creativity, how do you become creative, why creativity, some of the some of history's greatest creative mind. To close, let's talk about what is the power of creativity. That is the topic, that is the subject of discussion. So, the power of creativity is coming up with new solutions to solving everyday problems and imagining the world. Practice creativity, flow with your creative spirit. Thanks for listening. Please share the podcast and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.